So we came back to London. It's the 23rd. We're here at the Nikon launch event for the D850, and thus far it is very exciting. They've got some excellent stuff lined up for us. They've got 4 different world-renowned photographers in 4 different studios. And after we get some lunch, we're going to wander around each of those studios and just take a look at what they think of the camera. They're going to demonstrate to us how they would shoot with it. We'll get to ask some questions, get to see the camera in action. There's loads of people here. We've got Kai Wong, John Bentley from the Gadget Show. Everybody's here, and it is super exciting. So Ben and I are going to get some lunch, and then we will be right back with you afterwards just to show you around the studios and give you a taste of what the D850 can really do. So, this is what we came here to see, D850. We finally got our hands on it. They've got a few models. This is the final production model, and everybody is here. They've been clamoring to get their hands on it because they've got such an excellent set behind us. We've got a Ferrari Moto Guzzi, a model. So, without wasting too much time, I'm just going to get straight in and start shooting some pictures. Okay? So clearly there's a lot of buzz around this camera. Thus far, we haven't quite managed to get our hands on it for a prolonged period of time. What I can tell you is from just getting my hands on it for just 5 minutes there at the end of that one, everybody wants a piece of it. I got a little piece of it, and I'm really excited to get a little bit more of it. That was a great little session with Amy Shore, and they had an awesome, she's an automobile photographer, they had an awesome setup down there with an old Ferrari Moto Guzzi. You saw the model. We'll show you some of the pictures I got down there. This next studio session it looks like wedding photography. So we're gonna go in there and see if we can get another 5 minutes with this camera. I'll be surprised if by the end of the day we can only get 20 minutes total over the course of 3 hours. But we have, their production models, and we have SD cards with us. We can take the images away. So now we're gonna see if we can get another 5 minutes and take some photos of, I think there's a couple models in there dressed up as if they were at a wedding. I mean, this whole environment is amazing. It's a great place for this. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm being a little bit more quiet in here because what we're doing in here is Ross is one of the foremost wedding photographers in the country, and he's demonstrating how useful that silent shutter is going to be in scenarios where you're looking to capture, like he said, the moments between the moments. And having that loud shutter, click, 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 can take away from those. So when you can't hear anything at all, it allows the couple to just be natural, and they don't realize, they'll hear the shutter and they'll think, okay, the photo's been taken, we can relax now. But if they don't hear that shutter, there's no cue. So they'll just continue to act natural, and it's perfect for capturing those, like you said, moments between the moments. So studio session number 3 was all about shooting wildlife, and there were 2 key points to this session, and the first being the massive sensor that you have on this camera is capable of realizing some amazing detail. So we've got some stills to show you of some of the birds that we saw, some kingfishers, owls, vultures, and it's also about the silent shutter. Just as with a wedding, having a silent shutter, if you're in a hide somewhere, you don't want to spook a particularly twitchy animal, really comes into its own. And this camera, this camera can do it all as well. Using those 500 mils, you have the best of both worlds. You have speed and resolution. So here we are now, studio session number 4. We don't have to be quite so quiet in here. Clearly the second and the third sessions were definitely about that silent shutter. In the second, just to recap, we had the wedding shoot, and then in the third, we had that wildlife shoot with the kookaburra and the owl. And clearly, silent shutter's great if you're in a hide or something like that, and you have these really sort of twitchy animals. Here, however, we can be a bit louder because we've got some martial artists behind us, and we've just gotten to shoot that camera, and I have the grip on it, so that means I can shoot at 9 frames per second here. As you know, you can shoot 7 frames per second straight out of the box, but 9 only if you have this extra power. And this camera is phenomenal. It performs very well. You're shooting at 9 frames per second. I had the transceiver. We were doing some flash photography, so we're going to show you what some of that turned out just a little bit later. I think this camera is done writing to the SD card now. We just had these bog standard SD card, so we had to wait a little bit. So I'm going to take that out and we'll show you some of the results.
Do you want them to jump in? Do you want them to 5 minutes?
So that completes studio session number 4 with the martial artists. Clearly this is a very capable camera. We've had a great day at the Nikon launch of the D850 today, and we look forward to actually getting a little bit more time with it. There were so many people clamoring over the camera today that we only managed to get a few minutes here and there, but what we did get, we really enjoyed. So stay tuned, and I'm sure we'll be doing something more with the D850 in the near future. And yeah, if you enjoyed today with us, please like and subscribe.